The fabric I have here is called Taffeta, and it's been sitting here for very long time. This is a skirt a friend of Mama was about to throw in the garbage. This is a treasure, but nobody understands this. Except me. Today I will make thrift flip from this skirt, and simply I will make a rose dress for prom queens. I'm training the rose design in the air. Let's hear what my alter ego is about to say. So here the decorations started to fall, and I'm just curious if I should keep doing this. I'm not comfortable at looking these granny decorations. Who designed them? Shouldn't we be modern, thinking out of the box? I'm going to remove them without any hesitation, with a blink of an eye. With a blink of an eye, you said? Okay, so let's see how many hours I will need for achieving this task. I'm getting comfortable, because if you are not comfortable, you will not be able to make anything done. I'm flipping my hair. I try to look my best for you. So I'm pulling these decorations out like that easy, because the thread breaks. If the thread was strong, I wouldn't be able to do this. I have put my face expressions to show you the tough things we go through as dressmakers, because the people are thinking, he's a designer, he only draws dresses and goes on events. No, darling, no. I don't only design, I make the things by myself. After 2 hours of boring work, I have finally found the Achilles spot of this fabric. You know, when you find that easy way of doing something, you have done everything the wrong way the whole time, and on the final, you find easy way of doing things. I followed the rainbow line that follows the cloche of the skirt. So if your fabric is brand new and it's not in the form of a cloche, simply crop it in a straight line. And on the cutting, don't try to be accurate. I have felt like a kid who has been given the permission to act however he wants. This is the moment where things get really serious. I put my mask to avoid the burnt plastic into my lungs. I light the candles and say a prayer to a god. I know the candle thing looks really professional, but I have found that this is the easy way of doing this, and that the effect I get is really nice. I have put ASMR of my breathing because it's really a Dark Vader vibe. Keep in mind, the parts of the fabric which are burnt are hot. It will be better to prepare yourself with gloves. I'm shaking the fabric like that because you don't want your fire to spread all over the place, but here there is one thin moment. You have to shake it really gently because you don't want any coals to throw and simply make crazy stuff. This reminded me of a case that I've done something similar, and the coal from the fabric fell on my naked foot and it made 3mm hole in it. So you should be really careful if you decide to do this at home. I wanted to show you the upper view to see it in some other perspective. I don't recommend you to cut such petals. They are really time consuming, hard to make, and some kind of dangerous. The good news here is that you have to burn only the one of the sides where the petals are. The other should be left like this. You can make it with overlock, but simply you can leave it that way. Now we are on the machine. You should know that you have to sew only 20 or 25 or 10 or 30 centimeters of the fabric. Afterwards, you have to gather the fabric, so you have to make sure that the thread is really loose. I have left some spaces empty. Gathering, free space, gathering, free space. This curve will go to the form of the body, and that way we will create our rose. I'm starting the making of the rose. First of all, you should pin the fabric in the form of a petal. This step is self-explanatory. The first petal should trace the outer lines of the flower. After that, I'm simply sewing it to the mesh. I'm doing this by hand because it's really easy and the mesh underneath is pretty elastic, and afterwards I will not have any problems with it. I'm using really strong thread because, you know, if you don't use a strong thread, the things will go not so good for your prom queen, and she will say that you're the worst sewer ever. She will tell all her friends, and nobody is going to hire you ever again. Here I'm inserting the second part. There's absolutely nothing different in the making. I'm adding the second part to hide the stitched part. Have you noticed the flowers? The petal above hides the petal underneath, and so on and so on. That's how God created these beautiful creatures. I'm leaving some loose parts to make it in circular shape. The third step, I mean petal, should be rolled to have this beautiful rose shape. That's the secret. Each petal should go like spiral. Sacred geometry, golden ratio, Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, so basically we're trying to make a 2D form into a 3D form, because this has to look like alive. I don't use sewing machine because this dress is handmade, like the haute couture collections are made. Plus, your hands are more in control of the process than the machine is. After I have sewn everything to the mesh fabric, I connect the petals one to another. That way I will create a realistic shape of the rose. Here we are molding the dress. I know what I'm doing, so it's easier. Actually, I have made the front part, which was more trial and error, and then I came back on the back to show you the shoot ready material. Sometimes I'm forgetting that the petal underneath is completely empty. We should sew all the petals one to another, so they would not reveal some hidden secrets. This process takes time, keep that in mind. Okay, so while we're here, I want to mention that you can wash the dress and the petals that you're creating just by hand in lukewarm water. That way they will look really beautiful for many washes and they will not damage at all. This is the culmination. The middle point of the petal should be formed in this type of way and hand stitched, of course. I am sorry about the light. I will try my best for the upcoming videos to make the best out of my setting. The thread should be the same exact color as the petal, or it will ruin the overall expression. Your thread should be polyester because you will not be able to burn it afterwards. You should double or triple sew the petals for them to be stronger. This is my hidden weapon. This is how I remove the outgrowth threads with lighter. I have found this technique and it's really a lifesaver. Crop the thread and the outgrowth should be burned. Now we have this masterpiece of the masterpieces. I'm expecting the market to copy this design, but why they will copy this design? Because they will not design something better, and we will see this dress for 5 or 10 bucks, like glued with hot glue gun, and this is beautiful. But after all, we live in the 21st century where everybody is stealing without a trace. The final dress is really beautiful, but who will wear this? Today, I will invite my queen, the Bulgarian queen of the roses, Mariana. Not a queen, a goddess. Not a goddess, a universal goddess. Дигни ги сега леко, така, топ.